Hi there, welcome to Nepi Invest. So in this video, I'll be looking at a company that does sleep apnea oral devices. They've been around for a while, for at least 10 years, maybe greater than 10 years. I've been following them for about 7 of those years. So because I've been following them for quite a while, I'm always interested to see how they're doing. They've been a company that I haven't got close to buying. It's about 4 or 5 years ago. There was a lot of chatter around whether Somnomed or ProMedicus was the company to buy because they were both sort of market darlings, and ProMedicus was the one company that really took off. Somnomed went into America and developed some clinics, and that was sort of a failed venture because they believe they did shut down those clinics recently. So let's have a look at their Appendix 4C for the previous quarter. So, they have a market cap of about $150, $150 million. If it was $150, I'd be buying the whole company. But cash receipts, $13.1 million. So those cash receipts have backed off a little bit from a few months or a few quarters ago, but they're still cash flow positive in operations to the tune of $1.3 million. So that's always something I like to see, being cash flow positive, especially if that cash flow can fund research and development and operations. That's always a good sign. So self-funding, I'd call that. A company that is self-funding is always a good thing. So going through the history, so I followed this company back through April 2013. It's a really good uptrend in the first 4 or 5 years of the company. So gone from $3.7 million in receipts to around $17 million. And then from about 2018 into 2019, those receipts started just level off. And then the last few quarters, it's backed off a bit. I think maybe one of the reasons it's decreased is because of they've purged their clinics in America. And the other reason, I think, is because coronavirus has impacted their operations to a slight extent. So a few things from their report. They did mention unaudited revenue is down 6% from the previous corresponding period, so a year ago. And they've got operations in North America, Europe, and Australia Pacific. So you can see the majority of operations actually are in Europe, not North America. But I think some of that revenue in North America has decreased because of those clinics being shut down. And see, revenue growth has been mostly impacted in North America. Europe has, funny enough, has been stable compared to the previous corresponding period. So this is the 10-year monthly. So I maybe mentioned in passing that a few years ago, it was a sort of a market darling. You can see if you go back to 2013 when I started following them, they were about 75 cents or so, and they went from 75 cents all the way to $3.50. So good share price appreciation during that time. That also corresponded to where we saw the cash receipts going up quite substantially. When that cash receipt started to level off in 2018-19, that's when we saw the share price actually decrease. And a lot of volatility in the past few years. So share prices got as high as $3 at start of 2020 and then backed off all the way down to $1. Then it increased all the way to $2.50. Then in the last few weeks or so, we've seen share price go back to $1.80. You can see that in the 1-year daily here. A lot of volatility. You can see the share price really took a hit in coronavirus. In fact, in a few days, it went from about $2.50 all the way down to $1. So unfortunately, they would have seen some shareholders take a fairly big hit. Around $1 would have been a good time to buy, but just based off valuations here. And then the last month or so, in October, we've seen the share price take a bit of about a 33% hit from $2.50 to $1.80. Previous to that, share price went up 100%. So a lot of volatility in the share price of Somnomed in the last year or so. So that's all I've got on this company, Somnomed. If you do have any questions about this company, the field they're in is fairly popular. Sleep apnea devices. A lot of companies got Fisher & Paykel, ResMed, Somnomed. Probably missing a lot here, but a lot of companies are in this field, and it is a sort of growing field because sleep apnea is a growing field, especially because people are tending to get fatter. And because overweight people tend to have more sleep apnea problems, it is a growing field. So at least they're in a good field, good growing field. So if you have any questions, leave in the comment section. Subscribe to my channel if you want to. And again, I'm not an expert, so if you do need expert advice, make sure you speak out a qualified expert. So that's all for this video. Good day. Bye.